Hi, this is Avi Levi with Levi Design Build. In this video, I want to talk about legalizing an unpermitted ADU. Unpermitted addition work and especially garage conversions is very common and probably located in every block. If you're going to look at your neighborhood, you're probably going to find quite a few of those. Many homeowners did not do the work or even knew that they have an unpermitted work done on their property. Some of them won't even know about it until they're going to get a citation from respective Department of Building and Safety or Public Work. There are some steps you will need to take in order to comply, and there are the main two options you're going to have when you deal with unpermitted work is option number one, restore the building to the way it was originally. Meaning if it was a garage that was converted, you need to get it back to be a garage. And option number two is go through the process of legalizing the unpermitted work. What I'm going to focus on this video is how can you get your property or your unpermitted work legalized. So when you're legalizing unpermitted work, you should know that it's very tricky. The biggest issue is that the local building and safety department didn't review or approve your project plans. They did not conduct any inspections on the actual work. So it makes things a bit hard or a bit complicated for the city to get it approved for you. To meet the local building and safety standards, you will need to take 4 different steps, which I will cover in this video. The first one is you need to check the zoning and ordinances to make sure that whatever work was done is meeting those zoning and ordinances before you do anything else. Next thing is once you verify that the zoning and ordinances are met, issue the construction documents. It's a full set of construction documents. Once those are done, you will need to go through plan check and get a permit. And once you have your permit, you need to go through repair work, inspections, and at the end of it, you're going to get your certificate of occupancy. So step number one, like I said, you need to check your zoning ordinances. And the way to do it is create a basic drawing, a plot map, site map, and that shows the existing structures, any existing structures and dimensions. And then have a discussion with your local building and safety department to see if the illegal work is in with those zoning ordinances. It can be a simple over-the-counter meeting at the planning department. If it meets those zoning ordinances, you may proceed with the next steps. However, if the work is not meeting those ordinances, then legalizing the work might not be an option. Having this information in advance will probably save you a lot of money and time down the road. If the zoning ordinances or your structure doesn't meet those zoning ordinances, you can always proceed with your project and apply for a variance and take your chances. Just know that the chances of getting a variance approved is not that high. Once you verified those zoning ordinances that your structure does meet those, move on to your next step. Next step is basically issue your construction documents. Typically, you will need your site plan, which, like I said, you should do that on your first step, meeting with the city. Get your floor plans, elevations, sections, structural engineering, electrical plan, and your Title 24, which is your energy calculation. You may need other drawings and documents, and you can ask that question, on your first inquiry with the city. Once you have all those drawings, it's important that you will verify that all the drawings are accurate as possible, meaning the measurements are showing exactly how the unit is built and how it's finished right now. You want to avoid the back and forth with the city during the plan check process and also during the inspection, because if there is some kind of inaccuracy, you might need to go back again and again. If you're planning to make any changes to the structure during that process, you can reflect that, meaning you can show how it is right now and you can show what you're planning to change. Anything that you're planning to change or add to it, show it on those plans and submit it at one time. Once your plans are ready, submit it to Building and Safety. Building and Safety, you're gonna do a full review of your plans to make sure that they're meeting the minimum codes and standards. It will be the same process as if you're going about applying for a new ADU, meaning it's going to go through Building and Safety, through all the different departments of utilities. You're going to have corrections and clearances to do. City engineer will review it, and only at the end of the process, you're going to be granted with a permit that will allow you to go through the process of construction. The added step that you will have in case of legalizing unpermitted structure is that you will need to go to the Department of Code Enforcement. They need to know that there is work that was done with no permit, so it can be recorded, and then your plans can go to building and safety. This is the added step you need to go through. Once you got your permit, you can start your inspections and construction work. I've started with saying inspections because, yes, probably your first step before doing any work is going to have an initial inspection. In this inspection, you're going to have a city inspector coming by. He's going to make sure that whatever you're showing on the plans, because remember, this is finished. It's a finished unit. He's going to want to see that everything that you're showing is existing. He's going to want to make sure that the plans and drawings are meeting the actual structure. He's going to make sure that everything is meeting the standards. He's probably going to ask you to expose a few areas of plumbing, electrical, exterior to see the foundation and how deep it goes, framing, drywall, insulation. You will need to go through those explorations with him to make sure things are meeting the codes. If everything is meeting the codes, he will sign it off. If not, he will issue you a list of things you need to repair and correct. On top of it, if you're planning to do any changes, you can go through those changes, and you will call the inspector again to have those different inspections as you make those repairs to the structure. At the end of the process, once the inspector is satisfied with all the repairs that you have done, and he confirmed that the structure is meeting all the building codes, and basically your work is completed and you're going to get a certificate of occupancy. That's basically it. I know it was a short explanation. However, you do need to know it is a long process. However, if you have a unit that was converted or a garage that was converted and it's finished as an ADU, it's probably worth for you to explore the option of getting it legalized, not only to avoid any future legal issues down the road, but also having it done properly right now will grant you the peace of mind of having a rented unit that you can rent with no issues down the road. That's it for this one. See you on the next one.